Sports, 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 sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to Sportsball, part of the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. We talk about sports-related topics, but we focus on you, the fan, and what you like, whether it's a sport, team, athlete, sports-related news, or sports-related event. This week, we are going to be talking about the 5 NBA games that will be on Christmas Day, and then the 2 NFL games also on Christmas Day, as the NFL tries to steal some of that stuff from or steal some of that spotlight away from the NBA. And if the NFL was going to try to do that, this year is, or the slate that they have, it's not the year to do this, unfortunately, because they have one game that's got stakes, I suppose. So you've got Detroit versus Minnesota. Detroit is still fighting for their playoff lives, and the Minnesota Vikings are a dumpster fire. And then you have Dallas versus Washington, which that was supposed to be like a premier game, but this year, or both teams have not had great years, with the Cowboys sending away Micah Parsons for some strange reason after not coming to a contract agreement. And then Washington just having all kinds of injury bad luck with Jaden Daniels, among other people, but Jaden Daniels is the main reason why. So unfortunately, the NFL's Christmas Day slate is not very good. It's going to be on Netflix, so I'm looking forward to that. But if I'm taking a look at these 2 games, give me Dallas and give me Detroit, because Detroit is going to be playing for their playoff lives. But if the Packers win, um, I think it's pretty much over for Detroit at this point. So yeah, we'll see about that. But the NBA does have a stranglehold on Christmas, and they have been doing a very good job of it over the last, 10 years or so, making Christmas a premier day. Even when the NBA went on strike not too long ago, Christmas Day was the day that everything came back. So that's always fun to see. And this is the point in the season where everything kind of starts to turn around a little bit, because with Christmas Day kind of in the rearview mirror, because this is a day for the NBA that they try to publicize as many of the games as possible. And these are supposed to be premier games. Uh, and I think for the most part they are, but I think the NBA kind of is doing themselves a bit of a disservice when they don't have certain games or certain teams playing that are up and coming. But the problem is that there's so many teams with players who are missing out due to injury, just teams not performing as well as they'd expect, that I just don't think that people are going to be interested in some of these games. So here's your slate. So the 11 a.m. game is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the New York Knicks. I'm sorry, the NBA Cup, or the Emirates NBA Cup 2025 champion. They're not going to raise a banner, which I think is stupid, but whatever. If that's what the Knicks, what do I know? It's whatever the Knicks want to do. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have been struggling as of late. So I think the Knicks are going to take this pretty handily, but who knows? Hey, Christmas miracle, am I right? So the 1:30 game is probably the game of the day, because you've got the San Antonio Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs just off of just not like outplaying, but just outgunning the Thunder in the semifinals of the NBA Cup. So tensions are still high between both teams, and the Thunder are on a bit of a skid. And by skid, I mean they've lost a couple games over the last week or so, just very unlike them. So I going to predict that the Spurs are probably going to take this one again, unless the Thunder can figure out what to do about Wembanyama's size, among a lot of the other things that they've got going on. So we'll see. At 4 o'clock, you've got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors, and I'm predicting nobody to win this because this game is going to be terrible. I think the Warriors are going to win this pretty easily because Dallas is not a good team right now. But then again, in Dallas's defense, the Warriors are not a very good team right now either. At 7 o'clock, you've got the Rockets and the Lakers. This should be a fun game. You've got the Luka Lakers, LeBron playing on Christmas Day again. And then you've got the Rockets, who are off to a hot start. They've come down to earth a little bit, but Durant versus LeBron. So I'm looking forward to that. I'd look forward to it more if it was like 2016, but it's not. And I am thinking that Luke is going to rise to the occasion, and Austin Reeves is going to have a good game as well. DeAndre Ayton's not going to do anything for them on the inside, so I think this is where the Lakers, their size gets exposed pretty bad. So I'm going to take the Rockets to win this. And then finally, you've got the Nuggets and Timberwolves, probably the closest thing to the Western Conference to a true rivalry, because the Timberwolves have bounced the Nuggets a couple years ago, and then last year, like 2 years in a row, that the Timberwolves have gone to the Western Conference Championship. So I'm picking the Nuggets to win this because the Timberwolves, they just look old and they look slow, and I don't know. I think just a small part of me thinks that this game is probably going to be a bit of a wake up call for them, just so that they understand that, hey, maybe it's time for us to get our stuff together and start exploring trade options because right now what we have ain't it. So yeah, those are my predictions for Christmas Day. What do you think? Do you look forward to these Christmas Day games? Let me know in the comments below. And we'll go from there. But that's going to do it for this episode of Sports Ball. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website at spdmcrew.com. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. Check out the other shows on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. We've got a lot of great content. Really proud of the work that everyone's doing. So please check out the other shows on the SPDM Crew Network. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever.